Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another Everyday Inspiration with Crystal, Dolly, Daisy, Jen, and Lisa. I am playing along with them again. This month, MK chose our inspiration, which is this pumpkin patch photo that she had. And so I'm going to start out with this orange paper, taking the orange from the pumpkin patch balloon banner as my inspiration, and I'm going to cut it at a diagonal, and I want it to go diagonally across 2 pages because I'm doing a double page layout. I've got quite a bit of photos for the entire week. Actually, I have a lot of photos, so you're getting a lot of double pagers this week. And so I'm cutting it at a diagonal, but I'm leaving the center swatch of it open so that I can use those 2 diagonal pieces back to back to create one, or 2 triangles back to back to create one diagonal across the center of my page. So you're going to see how I do that here, and that allows me to keep this center orange strip to use later, which I end up using it on a different layout. So if you don't have a lot of paper, this is a good way to make your paper stretch and to still be able to do a double page and have a little bit left over. And then this particular piece of paper, I didn't really care if I had much left over. I do need a little bit of it to use for the title, but otherwise I'm not trying to conserve it. So now I want some more diagonal paths going across, and I know my straight line on my orange ones look very straight, but I am going to go and rough them up with my distressing tool. And there's going to be a lot of photos on here, so it's going to cover up a lot of that. But I do like the torn wavy pattern that was created by ripping the cream colored paper. It kind of makes it feel like there's a little bit of movement on the page, and so that makes me pretty happy. So here I'm going to go ahead and use my distress tool to distress up these edges so they're not quite so perfect. And then I also wanted to remind you that there are a bunch of people playing along with Everyday Inspiration using that same photo for their inspiration. They may or may not be doing double pages. Probably, most people probably won't be, but go and check them out. There's a list down below of everyone playing along. And then there is also the link to MK's channel so that you can go and see what she is doing today for Kit Conspiracy. Now, we're both playing along with Kit Conspiracy and Everyday Inspiration, so it's just going to be one video, probably, I would imagine. But my Kit Conspiracy layouts are a little bit out of order because of the need to fulfill the Everyday Inspiration in my schedule. So the first layout for this series will probably be tomorrow. It's not really the first one, but it's the one that is actually like the title page for this series of photos. So it's either going to be tomorrow or Thursday. So definitely come back and check that out. So basically these are nighttime camping photos at a Boy Scout camp. Not at the official Boy Scout camp. It's just the troop is out camping at a lake called Utica Reservoir. And it's a beautiful, beautiful lake, and all of the paper that we are using this week, the Lakeside collection from Simple Stories, went so well with it. I had a lot of fun playing with it, so definitely come back and see all of the layouts that I've created and how beautiful this particular lake is in Northern California. It's an unimproved campground. They don't really take reservations or anything like that. It's just first come, first served because it's at a reservoir, and there's not really there's no showers or anything like that. There's just like porta potties unless you go find, it's kind of a ways to drive to an actual bathroom. So, which the Boy Scouts didn't really care too much about. What happened was my husband and the boys and the other guys or adults went up there, and then I had taken my daughter and my niece to a concert by Jason Mraz back when he was super popular. I don't know how popular he is now, but back when he was super popular. And the concert was actually up in that area of where they were camping. And so after the concert, we went and camped with them. So we just spent the night there and came home the next day. But it's a really beautiful, beautiful place. Not a lot of dirt. It's all granite and trees. And so it's just stunning. Okay, so now I've taken this turquoise or teal paper and I'm doing the same thing kind of as the white, but because I'm getting more towards doing corner to corner, I'm having to stretch that paper, so I'm having to like do some funky surgery to meet the two pieces up so that they are long enough to stretch across there. And it doesn't matter because the photos cover up all of that anyway, and it doesn't matter that that little section with the moose on it is sticking out, because as you can see here, my photos cover it all up. So it took me a while to get that all done, just because I knew I wanted the moose covered up and I wasn't really sure how to make it all work and still have some of that white paper left over and have a little bit of the orange left over. But this worked out. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of my photos down, kind of, grid-like, keeping them kind of straight, lined up in rows or columns. And then I'm adding this journaling spot so I can add quite a bit of journaling here. Some of the other stuff, some of the other layouts don't have much in the way of journaling areas, and that's okay by me because these are all in a series, and this one does have a lot of journaling area, so I'll be able to include anything I need that is not on the other layouts. I'll just include it on this one. So now I'm going through the ephemera packs and the stickers, trying to figure out exactly what I want to do, and looking at the stickers, I decide I'm going to pull out this little piece that says good times, and I think there's the one that says go fish. I don't end up using that go fish. I end up using a different one that says go fish on it, and I'm using it more or less because they're playing cards in those pictures, not because they're actually fishing. And I just thought that was kind of a funny little twist there. I am actually going to add some fish hanging down, but really it's because they're playing cards, and by all means they are not playing Go Fish. They're playing Apples to Apples, I think, in one of them, and then I think they might be playing Mao in a different one, and that is a different game that my kids enjoyed playing. So okay, so I decided I'm going to cut my title with these big block bold letters, which in the inspiration piece there was the word patch, and it was in big bold block white letters. What I ended up doing was I put some orange foam on the back of the excess white paper that I cut out from that would have been hidden behind the orange triangles there, and then I went ahead and cut them. But what I did was the first three letters, CAM, I cut on the orange side instead of the white side. Luckily, all three of those letters can be just swapped over to the other side, and it didn't make a difference. Now, if I had done the P or the F that way, or the R, I would have had some trouble. But in this case, I only did the first three letters that way, so I just flipped them over, and it wasn't a big deal because they look the same from either direction. And then I have this acrylic piece from Colorcast Designs that says Gather Around. So my title will be Gather Around the Campfire. I'm just going to add the tiny word the in front of campfire, and that will complete my title. There are these really big chipboard circular pieces. You're supposed to use them to create clusters. They're called chipboard clusters, and they're huge, you guys. Surprisingly, I do end up using two of them, one on this layout and one on another layout. But these guys are, I'm trying to look here. How big are they? They are more than 4 inches across, 4 1/4 inches across. Yeah, that's big in my book. But I am going to layer some stuff on top of that one, and it'll look great. But it took me a little while to figure out what I was going to do on it. Once I got it all figured out, I really like the way that it looks. I ended up using another chipboard piece that came in the same pack that says Discover on it, and then a frog that I layered up on top of that as well. I did pull some of the chipboard off of the back of the big round piece because it's I didn't want things to be quite that thick, but this chipboard doesn't pull apart as easily as some of them, so I just kind of did what I could and made it a little bit thinner. I am going to use some of these little binder clip looking things. I don't know what they're called, but it's just a sticker and a piece of ephemera that have the little clips at the top, and I thought those were kind of cute, and it looks like there's like a little note attached to the journaling area or to that Viewmaster, and so I'm going to use those. I am going to add a little bit of fun foam to the top of it, and then the top underneath side, not the on top of it. That just sounded really weird. So I'm going to add a little bit of fun foam, and I'm not adding any to the bottom of the die cut piece because I want it to look like there's a little bit of lift as it gets towards the binder clip type thing. So now I'm just playing around with what embellishments I'm going to put in each area. I do know I'm going to add those fish hanging down, and I'm going to add a little bit of twine that they will be hanging off of. I'm going to add the good times down in the bottom left hand corner. I like how that looks. I'm going to use some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere my foam letters down, and I'm just using a centering ruler. Not really so much for the centering portion of it, but it has these lines that go across it, and since it's so far down on my layout, I didn't want to try and use my T-square ruler. I could have used the T-square ruler to line up the top of all of the letters, but I just figured I'll just use this centering ruler and line one of those lines up with the bottom of the paper, and then line all of my letters up across it. And so that keeps them kind of uniform. And then I'm of course using some liquid glue to adhere all of these chipboard pieces. These particular ones that come in the chipboard clusters do not have any stickiness on the back of them like the ones that come in the chipboard 6x12 sheet. I don't know, I'm not really sure what the difference is of why some do and some don't, but anyway, liquid glue works just as well. And I'm adding that little froggy there, and I did have to pop his little back end up onto a little bit of foam because his front end is up on top of that piece that says Discover, which is chipboard also. So it's almost got like 3 layers of chipboard on there, but you know, it is what it is. So I like the way that it ended up looking, so that makes me happy with it, and I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to worry too much. Now I'm using some twine just to adhere these fish to, and then I tied a little knot around the tail of the H so it looks like they're hanging down from the H, and then I am adding another little piece across the bottom of the word Campfire just for additional interest. You know, I like to do interesting titles, and I thought that this made this one kind of interesting. I really like the way that it ends up looking. Added some glue dots to the back of the acrylic piece to adhere that down, just tucking in the little corners there as they were starting to curl up a little bit, so I added a little bit of liquid glue to the pieces of paper where they meet up. And then I'm adding some little phrase stickers to each one of my embellishment areas just to kind of finish it off and bring a little bit of orange to each of those areas. Hopefully you can see how I've pulled some inspiration from the inspiration piece with that orange swatched down the middle. If you were to continue it, maybe it would go in an arch like the balloons on the pumpkin patch, and then adding those big white letters. So I'm really curious to see what everyone else does today, and I'm really curious to see what MK does with her layout for Kit Conspiracy. And if you missed the kit share, you can go on my channel. It was posted yesterday, so you can go back and see what that is. We are playing with the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Lakeside Collection, and we have quite a bit of it to play with, so which is great because I have tons of photos, like I said. I just added one of the faux enamel dots, or not enamel dots, brads to each one of the clusters, and then I'm adding some gold Heidi Swap Color Shine, and then I'm going to add some white linen dilutions splatter in both or in all of those areas as well. And I'm really liking how it looks, you guys. Come back again tomorrow and see what I've got tomorrow, because I think that will actually be the first layout for this particular series of photos, if you like to watch in order. So thanks so much for watching. I will be back again tomorrow with another video. If you've enjoyed this one, I would love for you to hit the thumbs up button, and if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel as well. And if you're not already aware, I do have a Facebook group. It's Galaxy Girl Creations. You can come and join that also. MK and I are doing a weekly dice game where we roll the dice for the other person, and it tells them what they've got to use on their layout, and then we do a Facebook Live to create that layout. Come and check that out if you're not already a member of my group or her Facebook page. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.